It might be just about that time, everyone. Democratic approval might be on the rise. Newsweek reports after months of lagging poll numbers and internal party anxieties, Democrats are seeing signs of a rebound. The Democrats have faced less than impressive polling since Trump won against Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, but new polling suggests the party's popularity might be on an upward trajectory again. YouGov's generic congressional ballot tracker, which tests which party voters would choose in a congressional election, shows Democrats are 2 points ahead of the Republicans, with 44% to the GOP's 42%. This is the biggest lead the Democrats have held over the Republicans in the poll since August. Between October 24 and April 2025, the two parties were practically tied in the poll. But since April, support for the Democrats has started to trend upward, with their lead over the Republicans reaching 2 points this week. Yeah, and this comes at the same time that, Harry Enton of CNN was pointing this out, but Republicans are still polling better on the economy than Democrats, which is actually insane. Is he was pointing out the tariff stuff and just the stock market fluctuations with Trump, how that was such a bad look, and including just to the rest of the world, like, really, dude? Even Ben Shapiro was criticizing him for it. And yet people are like, yeah, I still trust Trump and the Republicans more on the economy. But does that mean they're going to vote Republican? I don't know. Might mean they're going to vote Democratic. So the upward trajectory for the Democrats coincides with Trump introducing his Liberation Day tariffs in April. The policy move rattled markets, prompting a sharp sell-off before an eventual recovery. It also saw Trump's approval ratings dip after a relatively strong start to his presidency. Since then, Trump's ratings have rebounded, but YouGov's tracker, as well as recent election results, suggests the Democrats may now be gaining some momentum in the face of anxiety about the impact of Trump's tariffs. It's got to be other stuff too. Got to be other stuff with the Trump administration. I mean, it's not just the tariffs. It's general mishandling of a lot of things, including immigration, including foreign policy. Think about the Signalgate stuff. Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz, like, really? So they're just making themselves look bad. They're soiling the bed on a pretty much daily basis. And at some point, even if it's very slow, that does start to increase sympathy for the opposition party. Now, it doesn't do it fast enough for the Democrats to win big in 2026. Trump can't screw things up so badly that they win in a landslide just like overnight. It has to be a really gradual thing. And then eventually people are like, that's it, never mind. At least the way things work in the modern day is there's not something overnight that's going to tank the Republican Party's approval. It's just insane. The Trump supporters are going to back him no matter what. Trump's got this grasp on them. But independents, normies, centrists, there might be a way to gradually sway them over to the Democratic Party such that the Democrats win in a landslide in 2026. Last week, Democrat Keyshawn Scott defeated his Republican rival Bill Odin in a landslide win for a seat in the South Carolina House of Representatives. So that's South Carolina. That's a red state. That's not North Carolina, which is considered sometimes a swing state. South Carolina, landslide win for the Democrat. There's definitely something going on here. In April, the Democrats defeated the GOP in a special election for an Iowa State House seat in what the Democratic Party hailed as a clear rebuke of Trump. Also in April, voters in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race delivered a major blow to Trump and Elon Musk, who had poured millions into backing the Republican candidate. Democratic strategists say the party is beginning to gain momentum by aggressively countering Trump's policies and offering a message of stability amid chaos. Okay, so guys, gotta be careful. Don't draw too big conclusions. Don't draw too big conclusions about this. Just keep going one day at a time. Take it by day, continue to combat Trump, but don't act like, it's for sure a landslide in 2026. These people, the Republicans have, in a weird way, been given just too many passes, over the years. They win in 2010 big time in just landslides against the Democrats, even though 2 years before that, George W. Bush's popularity was in the 20s, and Obama won with 300 some electoral votes. So the Republicans can just bounce back. It's insane. They just have so much ability to bounce back from things. And the Democrats sometimes don't seem like they quite have that. Like, they take a while to get their ducks in a lane. But of course, the pendulum is swinging a lot these days. So it's totally possible that it's just, we constantly see the control of Congress and the presidency shift from red to blue, red to blue, red to blue. And we don't even know what's going on. Like, okay, what are people feeling? Former Obama advisor Peter Loge pointed to what he sees as the deep unpopularity of Trump's policies, even among some who support his rhetoric. Quote, Trump's policies are wildly unpopular and getting less popular, he told Newsweek. People are afraid of a recession. Their neighbors are being deported. They're losing jobs. Their families and communities are losing services on which they rely. Voters tend to like Trump acting on the U.S.-Mexico border, and many share a general rage against elites. But the nuts and bolts of what that means is not popular, he added. True, the nuts and bolts. That's a good way of putting it. So yeah, what impact does this have on your neighborhood? What impact does it have on jobs? What impact does it have on prices? You know, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, we got to enforce the law, bro, law and order. You know, if you come to this country illegally, we have the right to kick you out. Duh. But they don't always think about the implications of that. Now, do they? The implications are important too. It's not just a matter of, oh, you know, we got to deport you and it'll be all good, you know. Sometimes people hear, you know, if you deport them, it's going to have an impact on the economy. Loge also warned that voters may be losing patience with the spectacle of Trump-era politics. Yeah, that's another thing, the drama, the administration drama that he brings. There's always drama in every White House, but he brings a special kind of it. Quote, voters may also be tiring of what can look more like reality TV than governing. The latest spat between Trump and Musk is the stuff of tabloids, not the serious work of the world's largest economy and military. Yeah, the Elon Musk thing, the sparring with Elon Musk has got to give people a lot of whiplash. Like, wait, I thought you just loved this guy. Now it's like you're fighting with him and he's pointing out that you're in the Epstein files, dropping the big bomb that everyone already knew. So yeah, the drama stuff I do wonder how much it's going to wear on people. I just don't know. I think it's people's pocketbooks that really control things. So, you know, if the economy does start to do better, people might have a lower favorability of Democrats and a higher favorability of Trump. It's just insane the way things work. But it's not all that surprising, actually, because at the end of the day, you just want to take home more money. That's it. But sometimes when you see stuff in the news that's just ridiculous time and again under Trump, and you're like, wait a minute, this wasn't happening under the previous administration, then, you know, that might also lead you to be like, yeah, maybe I'm just going to vote blue to turn things a little more normal for a change. Not that things will ever be perfectly normal, not that normal even exists, but I don't want to have to deal with these Trumper tantrums all day. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Democrats are on the rise for good this time, or this will be short-lived, or it's not even happening at all? Like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is the more the merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.